He wasn't born a leader. In fact, growing up, he never held a position, never stood in front of a crowd, and never saw himself as someone people would follow. But deep down, he knew something had to change. He pushed himself to speak up, to take risks, to fail, and to try again.
If you told me today that I'll be here, I wouldn't believe it.
Slowly, the boy everyone overlooked became the man everyone looks up to. This man is Bond Caesar. Today, he is the past president of the College of Arts and Built Environment Students Association at KNUST, leading, inspiring, and proving that leadership isn't only a gift you're born with, it's a choice you make every single day. This is the story of how an ordinary young man became one of the greatest leaders of his generation.
Okay guys, so today welcome once again to the Ranks channel, and as we always promise to give you nothing but the best. So today I have here with me Bond Caesar. You see, he is the past president for Cabeza in KNUST, one of the profound colleges that we have in KNUST. And looking at how he rose from childhood, not even willing to become a leader, and rising to become president of a whole college is very inspiring. And today we have to interview him, get some insight from him, learn a lot from him. So I won't really bombard you with a whole lot of stuff. I'll just go on to the point so that he introduces himself to you properly, then we can go ahead and continue the whole interview. So my boss,
yes sir,
please tell us something. So who are you?
Well, first of all, my name is Caesar Bondi, like you mentioned. Currently, I just finished my final year.
Wow,
I just finished my final year, and currently I'm looking out the opportunities that lie ahead. I mean, with national service and all that. So I think that's the basis of who I am.
Okay, so he has actually told us something. So he is done with school and now national service and all that. But looking at how you rose to become a leader, now become a leader for college, and even people were recommending that you go for SRC, means that you were really solid. You were one of the solid guys that people actually recommend for higher positions. But looking at your background, looking at where you are coming from without any leadership experience from the onset, but growing to gain this experience, how did your whole leadership journey start?
Yeah, so I mean, my own leadership journey actually started in the senior high school.
Okay.
But then, I mean, before that, even before my academic life, I mean, at some point, my academic life actually changed. But then from the beginning, I mean, if you told me today that I'll be here, I wouldn't believe it. I mean, my friends and the people around me, I feel like at some point they even lost hope in my academic life. It was like, I remember my brother used to like teach me, and like the next minute I forgot what
really,
and it was I felt like at some point he got disappointed and even stopped. But then, I mean, along the line from primary school, at some point my academics started improving, and like it made me interested in learning more things.
Okay.
So I went to the senior high school with no experience in leadership. I mean, the only leadership I could boast of is maybe a group leader in an assignment we are doing. So I mean, along the line, my friends started, I mean, talking about the fact that the kind of lifestyle I live, it will really be nice if I become a leader. So I started thinking about it, but then I was looking at maybe a position that I can go for that it will hide me from I mean,
you don't want to be the face.
Yes, I don't really want to be out there like that. But then at some point I just said I have to I mean, challenge myself. I want to challenge myself. I want to come out of that shelf I'm in. So I mean, I decided to go for the highest office in the school at that time. I mean, the senior high school. The school prefect. And it was an exciting journey. I mean, because that was going to be my first time, my parents were not really in support, and I mean, they thought that being in leadership was going to affect my academics.
And that's what most of us we think that yes.
They felt like, because at that time my academics had risen to like the top. I mean, my class, I was now one of the best in my class.
Really?
At that time, I was like the first. I got first position in my class, and now I want to be the head boy.
Yeah.
So I mean, they didn't want the fact that I mean I've gotten to this far and I'm going to leadership and it will bring me down again. But I mean, I also thought that I mean it's not only about getting the certificate at the end of the day. It's also about building yourself and preparing for the future ahead. So I mean, at some point, because of the kind of things they were saying, I nearly wanted to stop.
Wanted to quit.
Yeah, I wanted to quit, but I still went ahead. I mean, I was contesting against my friend, my very close friend. I mean,
your very close friend.
Yes. I mean, he even initially wanted to step down because of me, but I mean, the teachers knew him and they knew how good he was, so they encouraged him to still go. So I was competing with him, and I mean, from first year he has been in the atmosphere. People know him more than me. So I mean, I felt tense. I felt like he's more competent and he's likely to get it. But then at some point, I just thought of it as, Charlie, it's a win-win for me. If I lose, some people will be happy. If I win, I'll be happy. So I went for it, and I became, after our vetting and everything, I was the only one qualified to out of about 8 people who applied to become the head boy of the school. And I mean, it was a very exciting one. And from that time, this story always motivated me to believe that whatever I put myself into, I'm going to be able to succeed in it. So I mean, that is how my leadership journey started, from someone who had never had any experience in leadership. No, I mean, I've never been a class rep or anything.
Just like that, skyrocketed today.
So I mean, it always encouraged me to push beyond my limits.
Okay. Yeah. But we see where you are coming from, what you are saying. It means that you went for vetting, you went through a process. Because some people normally say life, sometimes we obtain certain things because of luck. So because you just went for the vetting, there wasn't any maximum preparation, there wasn't anything like that. You just went there because it was luck. There's something like that happened.
Well, I wouldn't say it was just luck. I mean, it was, I believe that the grace of God was also there, because before I went to that vetting, I just prayed to God and said, Lord, let your will be done.
But did you really prepare?
Oh, honestly, the preparation was not up to standard. Because at that point, I just felt like I said, it's a win. If I lose, if I win, it's my parents or whoever who is not in support to be happy. If I win too. So like, I was not really prepared. I remember the days of the clothes I wore, like I had to take someone's clothes because I washed my clothes. I washed my clothes that morning, so it had not dried when it was time for the vetting. So I had to take someone's clothes, and yet so I was not really prepared for it. But when I entered there, I mean, the fact that I had that feeling that, I mean, if I win or lose, it's all good. I mean, there was so much confidence. I was so much confident that, I mean, facing a panel of about 12 teachers.
Wow, 12 teachers.
Yes, they were asking me questions back to back, and I mean, I was so confident. I was even surprised about the kind of confidence I had.
Wow. Okay, that's good. That's good. So it means that your preparation wasn't really enough, but at some point you went inside, delivered, and 12 teachers.
Yes.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so when you became the prefect, now you said that you don't have any experience, you've just tried something new.
Yeah.
So it's like with the current you that sometimes you want to enter into something, but we ask ourselves that even if we are able to get the opportunity, how are we going to deliver? That is one of the major challenges. So you, without the experience, yes, now they granted you the opportunity. Was there any major challenge? Did you find any difficulty in the process?
Oh yeah, I mean, it wasn't an easy process. I mean, with someone who is just starting my leadership journey. I mean, there was this instance where there was an issue which almost caused a riot. I wasn't the cause, but I mean, I was caught up in it. That was just within the first 1 month of.
Hey, just first 1 month.
And it really affected me psychologically.
Wow.
I was thinking, how am I going to solve this? How am I going to solve this? But I mean, by the grace of God, I was able to get a solution. We talked with the students and they understood what was going on and everything was fine. I mean, that was the beginning. But then, I mean, for me, before I became a leader, I was a nobody. I mean, I was like part of the. So when I became the leader, one thing I was so particular about is the fact that, I mean, before I got there, people in those positions, I wish that maybe they'll give me their time whenever I go to them. So that was one of the things I really considered. I didn't see myself as the big boss. Like, I see myself as every other person. When you come to me, approach me, I'm very nice to you. And I mean, that really helped me a lot. It helped me to be able to communicate with the students and relate with them very well. And I mean, at the end of the day, after I left there, from the kind of comments and things I was getting from the students, like, they really appreciated the impact I brought, because those who were there before I became prefect could attest to the fact that the kind of leadership I brought was kind of different. And you know, with SHS, there's not much you can really do. You don't have the finances to be building things. But at least I was able to do some new things. I was able to get some funds to do some things for the school, and I mean, that's really made my administration to stand out.
Wow. But you see, some people always say that kind of leadership, that you always mingle with your people, make sure that they are being heard, it goes a long way to affect you, because they will extend beyond the boundary. What's your take on that? Is it actually true?
Well, yeah, I mean, at some point it happens, but I mean, my kind of personality, I'm not the loud kind of person. I'm a reserved person. So, I mean, even though I'm open to everyone, but people actually find it somehow difficult to say some things to me. You get it? So, I mean, it happens sometimes, but it wasn't really like that for me. People were not. I mean, at some point you encounter some of these challenges, but for me, I was able to overcome them. I remember some time where the student did something. I confronted him. He was trying to challenge me in the public. And when we went back to the hostel, he came back to the room and apologized and said it was because it was public and he didn't want to look like he's weak. That's why he said that. You get it? So it really made me to see leadership in a different way.
But were you always this reserved, like this quiet type, or it just came along the way? Because some people say that, he's not that loud type, he's just quiet. Were you just like, were you born like this?
Well, I mean, when you look at my brother, for him, my senior brother, he's one of the outgoing person, very outspoken and all that. I mean, I was not always this quiet, but I mean, along the line, I don't really know how to put it, but I mean, I started becoming quieter as I grew up. So, I mean, it was mostly because of the experiences I had and all that. And I remember this incident back in SHS, this one day, I will never forget it.
Wow.
I mean, when I went to the SHS, I was one of the loudest people in my class. I was at the front, and I had some mates who were always sitting at the back. I was sitting at the front, then I'm shouting,
making
noise in the class and all that. But there was this lady who ever made a comment. She was like, Caesar, you look like a quiet person, but you talk a lot. And I mean, that comment really, it changed something about me. I started like reducing the way I talked.
Just one comment.
Yes, I mean, that was not the only comment, but I mean, from that time, I just felt like, maybe I mean, since this is how they see me, then why don't I do what to make them happy? I mean, at some point I realized that was a very bad decision I took, but it has really affected the way I.
So you can't go back to the loud type again.
Oh, I mean, I've gotten so much into it that when I try to go back, it looks like I'm trying to be someone else. I'm trying to be someone else. You get it? But then I still have it to me when I'm around people I'm comfortable with.
Okay.
You will see me loud and.
Okay.
Yeah. So
but
that's how it
okay.
is.
So from SHS, I know SHS the experienced leadership is not really difficult.
Yeah.
It's not really challenging, and you try to challenge yourself, and by the grace of God, as you rightly said, and also by like your little experience talking, go for vetings and things, you're able to become the perfect.
Yeah.
Now back to the university. For the university, it's a whole different thing altogether. You see, when you come to university, the competition, then kind of different people from different schools coming together, and still trying as hard as possible to push yourself again. I'm quite impressed because normally people who challenge themselves once, they normally give up along the way. But in university, also pushing yourself. Oh, what helped you? What was your secret of becoming a leader in university to us?
Well, I mean, when I was coming to the uni, those who actually knew my experience and what I've been able to do in the SHS were always like, when you come to the uni, we expect you to be the SRC president.
Wow.
And I mean, it also encouraged me, and per my experience, it's really pushed me.
But weren't you afraid?
Oh, I mean, I was scared. When I came and I realized the kind of political system we have in KUST, I was so marveled. I realized that it was almost like the national elections.
Yeah, very serious one, though. Very serious one.
You have to get a team, spend money,
managers.
Yeah, so I mean, it scared me. So at the beginning, I didn't even put my mind to being a leader.
Wow.
Because thinking about the finances, the gathering a team, having to go to classrooms to campaign. I mean, that was a new kind of thing for me. It was something that I was not used to. But then at some point, I mean, people started saying these things about the way I'm reserved, and they think that when I go into leadership, it will really be a good thing and I'll be able to make impact. So, I mean, I started thinking about it, analyzed my options, and I mean, in second year, I decided I was going to run for faculty president.
Okay.
Yeah, faculty, that is the Faculty of Built Environment. I started this journey. It wasn't easy because that was like the first time with the SHS own. I mean, I was exposed to public speaking and all that, but I was already in the position and I didn't need to really stress much to be able to do it. But this one, you have to craft a message that will convince the students that you are capable of leading. And
very challenging.
I mean, here it's a higher level. You are coming to meet people from all walks of life. I mean, sometimes you go to a class to talk and they are asking you questions about what you said you are coming to do and all that. So you really need to prepare yourself towards that. So I mean, when I started, it was very challenging. I remember there was this time I wrote what I wanted to say.
Okay.
I went to the classroom to talk, and when I started, I almost forgot all the things I wanted to say.
Really?
So I had to just cut it short and leave the class. And after that day, I really felt bad. But then along the line, my department, we were about 3 people running for the position.
Okay.
Against 3 other people from different departments.
Wow, so competitive.
Yeah, 4 departments in the faculty. So I mean, we had a meeting in the department, and I mean, we had to come to a conclusion that one person has to lead the department for the faculty elections. I mean, when I was running the departments, we also have department presidents, faculty, then college. But I wanted the faculty. I also felt the college was too high for me.
You wanted to be in between.
I wanted to be in between. So I mean, we talked, and we were 2 second-year students and 1 third-year students in the department running. And per experience, they said that, I mean, the year before, there were some 2 students from the same department. They told them to let one person run, but they all ran, and they all lost. So they said, oh, we should understand and let one person lead. So the 2 second years, which was myself and the other guy, we decided to step down. I mean, it was not an easy decision because I had a team. I was able to talk to people. They joined my team and were willing to support. And at this point, I had to step down. So it was not easy. People started saying, oh, we were the one we're going to vote for. We really believed in you. You have disappointed us. It wasn't easy. But when we stepped down, I mean, it was an opportunity to sit down, reflect on the journey, and grow again. So I mean, with that, I sat down with the guy I stepped down with, and we're now planning towards the next year. And the decision was now that one will run for college and one will run for faculty. The college is the higher position because the faculty is under the college. Because we didn't want the case where we both run for faculty again and we would have to step down again. So we had to take the decision. And I mean, I was still scared about the college because what I came to see, how agenda was in the college, I mean, I was scared. But I sat down and thought about it. And once again, the idea of challenging myself came. I mean, I always want to challenge myself. So I finally told the other guy that, okay, he actually told me that I should decide. Whichever I decide is okay. If I want to go to college, I should go. If I want to faculty, he will change. So I finally decided I'll go for the college, which was a higher position. And I mean, my experience with managers, students, leaders, those who manage students and all that, I felt like managers wouldn't help me because most of the times
for the college level,
I mean, it's a normal, it's the norm when you come to Kenya. If you are running for college and you don't have a manager, it's not
you can't it's even difficult.
So but then looking at someone like me who was not the normal, the typical agenda boy, someone who is still trying to come into this space. But I said I don't want a manager. I'm going to run on my own.
So you didn't take any manager?
I didn't take any manager.
For college?
Yes.
I never knew about this.
Yes, I mean, even department, people running for department.
They take managers.
Even had managers. But I decided that I would not take a manager because I felt like some managers actually cause more harm than good to their candidates. I have first-hand experience with some people who actually started campaigning against the candidates because of the management they had. So I decided that I don't want any of that. So I started my campaign without a management. And I started learning. I know there were a lot of things that I felt I was so much behind. I didn't have experience in. So I started learning about how to improve my public speaking, how to communicate better with people and all that. And because I was not the typical agenda boy, I had to look for a strategy that doesn't make me look like I'm just here to tell you stories so that you vote for me. I mean, I built my agenda or my campaign around the fact that when you vote for me, I'm not coming to make promises that I'm coming to build this for you, build that for you. I mean, I'm building my campaign on the fact that I'll be able to achieve this and that. So when you give me the opportunity, I'm obviously going to use that experience to, I mean, build the college you are putting me in place. So, I mean, I started building myself. I was appointed by the president of the college at that time as the public relations officer. And I actually took it upon myself to make that position I was holding at that time really speak. I mean, I wanted anybody who would reflect to that moment that was PRO to say that when he was PRO, he actually worked. I mean, so believing that if we give him the position, he's going to actually work. So I mean, when I became PRO, I did a whole lot of new things. There was no logo for the office. I designed a logo for the office. I got a letterhead. Publicity improved so much. I started doing a whole lot of things that were not on the normal.
Wow.
I'm also fortunate to have this background in graphic design.
I was even coming to that. Like,
Yes.
how did you also learn this graph? Because you see, normally when you advise people to learn skills,
Yeah.
you think that maybe you are worrying them or something. But you see, in your administration or when you became the PR,
Yes.
that skill actually helped you a
Yeah,
lot.
it
And how
helped
did
me.
you come about it? Because the graphic design is not easy, not easy
It's
at
not
all.
easy at all. I mean, I come from an art background.
Okay,
My
okay.
father is an artist, but I mean, growing up, I didn't really have interest in going into art.
Okay.
But one way or another, I just realized that art was in me. You know, graphic design is an art. So I mean, at an early age, I was exposed to the computer, and I used to draw. I could draw on the computer
Using the mouse.
Using the mouse, I would draw.
Using Paint application.
Yes, Paint
Wow.
application. I mean, at that point, I
Wow.
didn't know what it was. I didn't even know it was called graphic design. But I really loved it, and at that point, I had some experience in it. So along the line, whenever I see a design that is nice, I'll just go to this normal apps, like try to recreate it myself. And I mean, that was how I started. So at some point, I took an online course. I didn't even get time to actually study it, but I got some few tips from the online course. That was when I completed SHS.
Okay.
That was when I took this online course. My phone was even spoiled. I was using my brother's phone to go through this course. And after I was done, I just started. I started practicing. And all of a sudden, I realized that I was producing very catchy designs.
I was seeing some of your design, very interesting, very nice.
I mean, right now, if you are counting one of the best graphic designers in this campus, I will be counted part. I've designed very catchy designs.
Wow, interesting.
I mean, student associations, for lectures. Sometimes I'm even amazed because of the leadership journey, I stopped publicizing my trade. I stopped publicizing the graphic design aspect of me, but people still come to
recommend
me,
you,
recommend me and all that. So I realized at some point I was designing for big companies, institutions.
Wow, it pays.
Oh, really? It pays if you have the time to do it.
Okay.
If you really, it's also about building yourself and your brand.
Okay.
If your brand is out there, I mean, you can get as high as you want. You just have to position yourself in a way that when you mention your price, the customer would have no choice than to accept it. You get it. So it's all about you and the brand and how you brand yourself.
Okay. So I think those watching us, you see, when we talk about skills, it's not like we are disturbing or something like that, but when you learn a skill, it actually helps you. From the president of a whole college telling us this, and it has actually helped me a lot in terms of monetary aspects, in terms of administration and all of that. Okay, now back to the administration. You see, the political aspects. Now you say that you are just going without the manager, you're going to do it yourself with a different style. You're actually teaching us a lot today, so you are trying to debunk all the things that you know that for you to become a leader, you should come from an experienced background. You are saying that no, you're going to be a leader because you want to challenge yourself. You come to university, every leader is going for manager. You are saying no, I'm not going for manager. I want to come with a different style. Wow, that's interesting. So how did the whole thing continue? Like not taking a manager, doing it yourself with a strategy?
So I mean, it started from the time I was the PRO. That was the time I actually started the campaign. Yes, and at the beginning, I concentrated more on the position I was holding, and I was doing a whole lot of things. I made sure that we're doing a lot of things that will make me be out there for people to actually see me. So I mean, when I actually started my campaign, I could go to a room to campaign, and when I mention my name, they've already heard my name.
Wow.
I don't even have to talk. I don't even have to talk. And because of the public relations officer, I also got in touch. I got the contacts of particularly the first years. I was able to reach out to them when they came early. So I mean, I was helping them whenever they need help. They'll reach out to me, but they didn't even know me. They didn't even know the face.
Yeah.
So whenever I got to the room and I introduced myself, say my name
you
is
are the one.
Caesar,
You are the
and like they are already happy, and I don't even have to campaign like try to convince them. So it really made my work easy. I mean, after the agenda self, people were saying that they never saw me really doing the campaign that much, but yeah, so that was how it was. And also before that, I established this foundation called the Bondic Impact Foundation.
Okay.
I mean, this is a non-profit foundation that
Bondic Impact. Bondic Impact. Okay.
Yeah, foundation. I mean, this is something that was in my heart from childhood. I mean, I want to make impact in the society.
Okay.
So at this point, I had some small resources, and I thought that, I mean, doing something like this with a brand and helping people around me was going to be something that will help me and also help the society.
Okay.
Yeah, so I established it, reached out to some friends, we contributed money. I mean, we tried to get resources from people, but it was very hard, and the time to wanted to do it was very short, so we had to contribute money. But particularly, I mean, most of the money had to come from me because I was the one who established it. And we went around, we got some food stuff, got food and drinks and water, went to the markets, gave it to the crippled, the beggars on the street.
Really?
And all that.
Wow,
I mean,
wow.
This was something that we were doing to, I mean, put a smile on the faces of the people there, and also encourage them, give them the hope that they can also do more. You get it? So, I mean, it also helped me to learn some things, because when we went to give out the things, we were not just sharing to them. We mostly tried to interact with them, those who we can talk with. And I mean, the experiences they share with us actually make us realize that the people are suffering and people need help. Yeah, so I mean, it also helped me a lot. And it's also helped my campaign, because whenever I was campaigning, I also mentioned the fact that I'll be able to do this. So I mean, I started my campaign. I mean, prior to that, when I started my faculty campaign, with the fact that I said I went to a class and I found it difficult to actually talk. But when I was running for college, I actually learned, like I said. So whenever I got to the class, I was so confident and outspoken that, I mean, people who didn't know me with that kind of trait were surprised that, I mean, I don't look like somebody who can talk. But when I come into the class and I'm talking, like, if you don't stop me, I'll talk and talk, because I have a lot of things that I've done. I'm not just an empty person coming to say.
Yeah, very true.
I remember there was a day I went with one guy to campaign. He was running for a different position. I mean, after I finished talking, he was like, he told them that he's not coming to talk a lot, because he realized that the kind of things I was saying, I mean,
he hasn't done any of them.
He doesn't have much to say. So if he doesn't make that kind of statement, it will look like he didn't come to say anything. I mean, so I built myself. I didn't just come to say, if you give me the opportunity, I'll come and do this. I mean, it was part of the campaign, but my campaign was more about what I have done. And if you give me the opportunity, I'll be able to do A, B, C, D. And I mean, towards the elections, there were a whole lot of things about my opponents doing a lot of things behind the scenes to make me lose and all that. I mean, those are all things that people were saying. Because my opponents, well, let me not talk about that. But then there were a lot of things in the background. So at some point, I was even scared that I will not get the position, because with my background and how I started my campaign with no experience, with no management, it was not easy. But the election came so soon, and after the elections, I won with about 2,000. I mean, the number of people who voted was around 3,000 and something. Was it 4,000? Almost 4,000. And I got 2,055.
Wow.
That was like a record I set, because nobody had gotten that number of votes since Kabisa. Kabisa is just 12 years old now. I mean, I'm the 12th Kabisa president, the college president, and that number of votes was the highest so far.
Wow.
I mean, competing with 3 people. I was competing with 2 other people. There were 3 in the race, and I got about 12. I got about 64. My percentage was 64%.
Hi. Wow,
that was really amazing. And I mean, these experiences really made me. It kept on encouraging me to step forward, challenge myself, and yeah. So I mean, getting the margin between my vote and my second opponent was about 1,000 and 1,100 and something.
That's too wide.
So I mean, with someone who didn't have a management running for a high office like the college. I mean, when it comes to KUST, the students leadership, after the SRSC president, it comes to the college faculty, then to department. So I mean, it was. I mean, when I got it, I still didn't believe I was the one in that position. Because, like I said, when I came, it was not even in my mind. I was not capable of getting to that position. So, when the results came and I got that much votes, I was so impressed, and I mean, it still kept me moving.
Okay, so it means that you've actually proven that without a manager, you can still win election. Yeah,
and I mean, even running, there were times that people would say that comparing me to people who came before me, like they were loud people, they were people who were very outspoken, and I was so different. I was very reserved, not talking too much like the others, and I mean, the kind of attention I was pulling, people were impressed, but people were usually saying that, oh, this guy can't do it. Even before I took the decision, there was this friend of mine, he's in my class. He told me that, nah, this position now, no advise you to go. Just sit back or maybe go for a lower position.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they felt like, no, I can't do it. And also, surprisingly, the president before me was also my course mate.
Okay.
The president who was there at the time before I came was also my course mate. And it was also a record for me to, I mean, come from the same class and win college president. We were in the same class, and I also came to take the position. So I mean, before I started, that was one of the bases some people were making, that the fact that we are from the same class, winning the position again would be very hard. And people will say that because it's the same class and the same department, we will not allow him to win. But when I started, it wasn't like that. I mean, I really worked, so it cancelled out all these things.
Sure. But you see, aside the leadership aspect, in terms of your academic aspect, you see, some people say that once you enter into these positions, even before you enter into the position, the election, the campaign, all these things drains you, and you don't get time to study. Did it actually affect your academics?
Yeah, it affected me, but let me see. When I came into the university, I mean, I was still very good academically. Yeah, so I'm at the top when it comes to the academics, but not really the best, but among the best.
Okay.
But then when I started my political campaign for this position, I mean, the rate at which I was supposed to concentrate on my academics really reduced, because the time that maybe I would have been in a group meeting or been in class, I would have to go and campaign and all that. So I mean, it really affected my concentration in class, but still it didn't really weak me so much when it comes to academics. I mean, I didn't get the marks I was thinking of getting or I was expecting, but it didn't really make me fall out so much. It affected me. I wouldn't lie about that. It affected me. And at some point, even in the administration, I even felt like the administration even drained me more than the campaign itself.
Wow.
Because with the administration, I had to like put everything aside. Not that it was intentional, but at some point I realized that I can't even concentrate on my books. Whenever I take a slide to learn, it's very hard to concentrate, because I was always thinking about what I'm going to do next to be able to solve a problem and all that. So I mean, when I became the leader, I felt like it even affected me more. But like in terms of the results, it was not really that bad. It was not really that bad. But I mean, academically affected me. I wouldn't lie about it.
Okay, so now to the administration, you say that yes, when you even came to administration, you face challenges, and you can't even compare it to when you were running for the whole position. So what are some of the challenges that you found when you finally got the position that you even never dreamt of?
Yeah, so I mean, my administration started very nice. I mean, for the first time, I realized that first of all, course reps in the college, they do so much, but they don't really get any appreciation from student leaders and all that. I mean, student leaders always promise that, oh, we'll give you certification to acknowledge you and all that. So that was one of the things I started with. I made sure I didn't put it at the end of my administration, but at the beginning. I appreciated the efforts of the course reps, give everybody a certificate. I mean, those who applied, I gave everybody. And that was outside the budget. It was not in budget, it was not budgeted for, because I mean, at that time it was during the vacation, so it was not budgeted for. And I started very nice, and for the first time in about 5 years since COVID-19 came, there was no in-person orientation for freshers whenever they came. And I made sure I started talking with the provost, and he finally accepted that we do the orientation in person this time. And I mean, it was really massive. We did it very beautifully. And I mean, usually the previous years when they're about to do the orientation, they will send SMS to students to be aware, but this time there was nothing like that. So it was now a responsibility as student leaders to go and talk with the students to come, and it was really hard, but we were able to make it very successful. So I mean, with that, we took some decisions to promote the name of the college, because I mean, from our point of view, our college was not really on top of matters when you come to KUST. So we wanted to promote the brand Kabisa, the College of Arts, Built Environment and Education. So we decided to procure some things to, I mean, sell to the students so that they will be able to publicize the name when they are walking about, maybe. And I mean, we faced a challenge with that, an unexpected challenge, something that we didn't prepare for came. And I mean, it's really affected us psychologically. We found ourselves in a depth that we didn't call for, but I mean, we were able to overcome it. We were able to overcome it, but it was really challenging. It was really, really challenging, but we were able to overcome it. Then after that, we faced challenges with approval of our request and budget for the year. You know, you cannot really run an administration without finances, and we really faced a challenge with. So there was a lot of delay because of the challenge we faced. So there was a lot of delay in our budget approval and all that. So because of that, even in the first semester, we couldn't really do much. But then when you even come to our college, or when you come to KUST and compare the amount of money we receive in a year to other colleges, my college is the least when it comes to finances. So I mean, we had to think of innovative ways to. I mean, I'm always motivated by this saying that if you cannot do great things, you do small things in a great way. So I mean, we wanted to do the small things we could do in a very nice way, in a very great way, that will make the students really see the impact we came to make. So I mean, these are some of the challenges we faced, but because of time, I wouldn't really go deep into the challenge. But maybe some other time I'll go into it.
Okay, so what about some of the breakthrough? Because now you've made us understand that there'll be many setbacks, and you've proven to us that yes, along the way there were many setbacks, but always, I remember when you said you were going for faculty, you prepared, you went to the class, you didn't even know what to say. Then you sat down and planned, prepared well, and the next time you went, even what you were saying, the other person couldn't. And it really showed that yes, setbacks are part of human nature, but how you bounce back is very important. So after all the challenges, what was the outcome? How were you able to overcome those challenges? And I think your administration is one of the best administrations that the college has witnessed so far, with my own small research that I've done. So how were you able to overcome those challenges and bring the breakthrough?
I mean, before I came into administration, around the time I was PRO, and from first year, I was always studying the administration that came. And I realized that, I mean, these leaders who come, they are really outspoken. They have a lot of plans for the. I mean, when I came, I checked the records and I realized that, I mean, these leaders had a lot of plans for the college. When you check their budgets and all that, they had very good initiatives they wanted to implement. But at the end of the day, they are not able to implement these policies or initiatives they plan to do. I mean, when I had conversations with some of them, they said that the money delayed, the money they should have used delayed in coming, and a whole lot of things. So, I mean, when I was coming, I thought about it and I said, nah, I have to do something different. Even if the money is not there, we are going to do what we want to do. Get it? And I mean, from the top, the patron and the top there that has to approve our projects. From our side, it's really strict. I mean, when the normal thing that you see going on in other colleges, when you send it to the top there for approval, it's very hard to get the approval. I mean, students actually think that when you become a leader, anything you think about doing, you just go forward and do it. But it goes through processes. You have the idea, you have the initiative, but you have to put it before your patron. You go through it. If he's in agreement with it, you approve it. You draft a budget, it will be approved. You send it to the next level for approval. And when the money is even paid, it is not paid to you, the student leader. That's the system KUST has built. When the money is paid, it is paid to the supplier of the goods or whatever you are supplying, but not to you, the student leader. So, I mean, that was one of the challenges we were facing. So, when I came, I said that now I have to really work hard so that these challenges wouldn't really be my challenge. So I still encountered these challenges, but I said that no matter what it is, I'm going to be able to do more. So like I said, the first semester of my administration was really down. I couldn't really do much in the first semester because of the challenges I faced. And because of that, even when we were going for vacation, I had to stay back. Just to prepare very well for the next semester.
That's good.
And if anybody says that I've done a lot, I've done very well, everything was done in just one semester.
Just one semester?
Yeah, because the first semester it was just, if I'm looking at the programs or projects we did, they were just like 2 or 3. But in the second semester we did about, I can't really mention the number, but a lot of things. I mean, almost everything we did was in the second semester. And I mean, coming in, realizing the challenges that past presidents faced, I had to do things beyond the ordinary. I mean, beyond the ordinary. That is the mantra of our SRC president. We had to do something beyond the ordinary. The ordinary for me is not about spiritual. But me, I always prayed to God to help me. But then it was not about spiritual. It's about, I mean, dedicating myself to what I want to achieve. So I stayed back during the 1 month vacation, was preparing, meeting people, discussing, planning very well towards the academic semester ahead. So I mean, when the semester started, we kicked off. Almost every week we had something doing. Almost every week we had something doing. And I was not prepared to let that financial challenge hold me back, because I knew, first of all, we don't have much in our coffers to be able to do the big program. So I decided that the small things we can do, we are going to do them. So I mean, we started with a health week. We did a webinar, a seminar on men's sexual health, sexual and reproductive health. We did some on substance abuse. We did a first aid training. I mean, these are things that has never been done in the college. A health week. We did aerobic session and all that. I mean, these are things that on the normal you wouldn't see happening in our college. But I mean, this was something I thought of doing to improve the health and well-being, make the students well aware about their health. After that, we did the Kabisa food bank. This is something that has been in existence, but this time we decided that we are going to expand it. We give students foodstuffs like rice, bag of rice, oil, spaghetti, like foodstuffs.
Yeah.
And I mean, this, we didn't just hide it. When we did it, we made sure the students saw it. And I mean that we were working with the counselor. And I remember the day the counselor came for us to share the items, he was really impressed with the fact that, I mean, every year the provost would say involve the counselor, but at the end of the day, he realized the students leaders would do the project without even informing him. But I walked him through the whole process. I always went to him for documentation and all that. So he was really impressed with the way we were able to do it. And when he came here that day for us to do the distribution, he actually said it. And everybody here who was present could attest to that fact. So I mean, my administration was one that I really made sure I exposed. I wasn't really hiding what we were doing. I made sure that the students saw what we were doing. I mean, there were some things that you cannot actually open up to the students. I mean, some people actually think that when you become a college president, all you do is just organizing programs and things, but they don't know the other side. I mean, if a student does anything that is unlawful, a crime, and he's supposed to meet the disciplinary committee, it is a college president that goes to represent him. He's the one who's going to speak for him on that panel. But people don't really know about those aspects. So I mean, these are all the other aspects of student leadership that I've encountered. I mean, as a college president, you're also part of the college board which includes the department HODs, faculty deans, and the college provost and registrar. So, and other lecturers and professors. So I mean, in the second semester, there were a lot of initiatives we did, from the food bank, we did the sports and interdepartmental games, which was also the first time in the history of the college. We did a whole lot of things. I mean, for the sake of time, I wouldn't mention a lot, but if you go to Kabisa Kinwest on Twitter or on Instagram, you would see most of the things we did. And I realized that, I mean, the previous administrations, when they come, they're able to do some things, but it's just like they're able to do, if they're able to do A, they are not able to do B. But when I came, I made sure that for the past administrations I have come to witness, all the things they did, I have done all of them and added more.
Wow.
So I mean, it really made my administration to stand out. Because of that, I mean, I had to dedicate all my time to the administration. I mean, it was very hard to concentrate in my academics. Also being in final year and all that. But I was able to pull through. I was able to achieve a whole lot. I mean, the project, we actually wanted to do big projects, but the finances we had was so small that we cannot implement such projects. But I still pushed through. I mean, there was a time we realized that the money we have cannot build a certain area, but we still made a design of a certain area. I went to the provost to talk about it, but there were a lot of challenges with implementing it. My concern at that time was not even about the money, because I believe that if it was approved, we could look for ways to get finances to do it. But there were a lot of things around it that, I mean, we don't have space, we don't have the space available is reserved for some other things. So I mean, it was taken out and all that. So I mean, we did our best, and the students could attest. I mean, I remember along the line, almost every day I'll be receiving messages from the students appreciating the work I did, and it really made me really proud of what I was able to achieve.
Okay, so those watching us, you see, I want the conversation to continue, but because of time. So yes, you are watching us, you are a student, you want to start something, but you are really struggling. You see how he rose from nothing without any experience, but to the level that being a college president, if you like, ask any person in the university, is very challenging. And for you to rise to that level is something that needs courage. You need to be outspoken. You shouldn't be too reserved. But he has actually used his own style, his own unique way to achieve whatever thing that he has achieved. I'm sure some years to come, he'll be one of the great leaders that we see here in Ghana, even in the world, because he's actually doing well. And the way that he does his things makes him quite unique, very unique. Okay, so Bonsiza, thank you very much for having you on our show and also talking to us. So what are your last words that you want to leave to our audience, so that at least they won't forget about it?
Yeah, so my last words would be about the experiences I've had. For me, growing up, the things I was able to achieve, what really kept me going was the fact that if I was able to achieve these things at this point, if I'm given the opportunity, I'll be able to achieve more.
Okay.
So my own story was what was really motivating me. I always look up to the big people out there, the achievements they've made, and I want to do something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't just say, oh, because this person is like this, I want to be like you. I want to be like you, but I also look around, look at my strengths and my weaknesses, and work towards that. So what I'll have to say to the people watching me, to the students I've served, to anybody who is seeing me for the first time, is that believe in yourself. At some point the world will challenge you, but you have to also challenge yourself. Move beyond your limits, you get it, and you'll be able to achieve all that you wish to achieve. Sometimes you set a target, you are not able to achieve the target, but the things you are going to learn along the line are going to really impress you. With my journey, at some point I was asking myself, when I started the administration and these challenges started coming in, I was asking myself, I was always asking, whenever I'm praying, I'm like, God, this is not what I asked for. Like, this is beyond me. But then when I was able to overcome them, I just realized that God was always with me all this while. It was actually meant to happen, so that I would realize that from the experiences I've learned, from the challenges I've faced growing up, has really taught me that the challenges will always come, but your ability to overcome them is what really makes you stand out. And the God factor is also very important. You have to always believe in God and pray to God whenever you are about to do something. So that would be my last words. Just believe in yourself.
Okay, thank you very much for having me on the show.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for watching. So subscribe, make sure that any individual that you have within your circle gets to hear about this video. Share, comment, let us know your thoughts about this video. Thank you once again for watching.